And welcome now, fans, to the Tennessee Tempo FC Sports Network as we join you a little over 11 minutes into the action here as Decatur are leading your Tennessee Tempo FC by a goal to nil. Already went through our starting lineups once, but we had a bit of a hiccup with the sound. With that said, we'll go ahead and start with the visitors. In between the sticks for Decatur, number 1, Nicole Badoon, in numerical order all the way down. Number 3, Maggie Wadsworth. Number 4, Jasmine Ferguson. Number 6, Krista Gibbons. Number 7, Emma Chapman. Number 10, Cassidy Keeney. Number 12, Micah Bryant. Number 13, Allie Plano, I believe it was. Number 16, Sarah Griner. Number 17, Dylan Driver. And number 20, Marilia Nieves. On the opposite side for Tennessee Tempo, though there has been one change for Tempo. In between the sticks, Jordan Butler wearing the blue, backed up by her teammates in red from top to bottom. Her back line formed from this near side to the far side. Approaching the ball now, Laura Roca through the middle, number 18, Savvy Spillman. And on the far side, number 17, MK Nye. Nye getting some defensive action. As soon as I mention her name, she'll play it out for a throw-in. Midfield efforts played by number 16, Ella Tupple, and number 14, Beatrice Salas. Number 12, Molly Gidney. On the outside of the attack, you have number 11, Nati Rojas. Number 19, Remy Clark. Number 9, Ashia Nalugwa. And up top, starting was Ayan Ahmed. In play now for her is Kai Presley. Butler dives for that ball, still in the danger zone, but eventually will roll out for a goal kick. If you missed it earlier on, it was combination effort with Dylan Driver that saw the first goal go in the back of the net. Tempo will have another sub now as Remy Clark steps out, and stepping in will be Anaya LaFloria. If there has been a sub already for Decatur, I apologize. I haven't seen one. If there has been one, with that change, that'll push Laura Roca higher up the field and drop Anaya LaFloria back. Goal kick looking for Asha Nalugwa, goes a little long but is headed out. In defense, you have number 12, Micah Bryant for Decatur on the near side. Through the middle, I believe, is Jasmine Ferguson. And on the far side, number 3, Maggie Wadsworth. Like I say on all these home broadcasts, I ask that you show a little bit of grace for me as I get the away players' names down pat, getting their names and numbers all in proper order. Only get to see them for 90 minutes a year most of the time, and it's always a fun challenge. Header flicked on by shortest player on the field, Bia Salas. Won by Decatur, who look long again. Winning it is Salas yet again. The little Brazilian that could. She goes out there and fights and fights. MK Nye trying to locate her again, unable to keep that angle. Throw in for Decatur. I think that may be Krista Gibbons on the far sideline, actually, who's just about to throw it in. In the middle, you have Marilia Nieves. Number 10, Cassidy Keeney. Keeney will receive the ball on cue. Looking for options. It's eventually going to skip it outside, searching for number 20, Nieves. No, that's number 12. That being Micah Bryant. Getting my numbers all mixed up. Tuplin wins it for Tempo. Finds Salas. Trying to look for some kind of relief. She's absolutely swarmed by Decatur players. Now LaFloria. Quick to Rojas. Rojas has the ball taken off of her. Wins it back initially. Though the Decatur press continuing to go. Decatur wearing the baby blue, making the trip all the way up here from Decatur, like their namesake says. They made a trip for a hot field here to play on, a balmy day in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Decatur, not a massively long drive, just shy of about 2 hours if my memory serves me correctly. Spillman will restart play. Looking for Roca. Roca does incredibly well to keep the ball in play. Looking for the call actually on the sideline was Maggie Wadsworth, who I thought was on the far side. Rather, she's on the near side and will go off her foot for a throw-in for Tennessee Tempo FC. The Costa Rican Rojas will have the throw. Better won by Plano. Beatrice Salas doing all the dirty work. Ball cut in from Emma Chapman. Has a player through, shot, and that one's in the back of the net as Decatur doubled their lead within the first 16 minutes. Another brilliant moment of attack for Decatur FC, who are now able to double up their lead. Last time Tempo were able to get a real chance early on out of the goal, actually, where Decatur kind of settled in, but not able to right there, as Laura Roca is going to be fouled, hopefully able to get herself up off the floor fine. Looks like she'll be able to play on, no issue. Tempo truly going to have to play with their backs against the wall now. One goal lead is hard enough as is, let alone now a pair. Ball curled in at the second post. Spielman thought about tracking it down. I think she knew even she was not going to be able to keep that one in play. 18 minutes in now. Decatur fans, I'm sure you're happy on this broadcast right now, as the away side is running away with this one early on. Tempo need to find a quick way to break into this game. Can't afford to slack much more. Header won by Decatur. Chapman again in the middle. Tupplin wins the ball, puts it in the air. Now MK Nye. Nye forward to Salas. One of the best runs of possession in the opponents have. Now Griner blocking it out. Sure that somebody's wanting a shout out in the chat. I'll give you a shout out. Let's see. Jana Cat's Eye. We'll just run with that. Shout out Jana. I wish I was shouting out a Tempo fan, but Decatur, I guess you deserve some love since you're now leading this game by 2-0. That'll be a header again for the away side. If you missed the last goal, really well done by Emma Chapman in the middle, and then threading it on, or getting on the end of the threaded ball, I should say rather, was Griner, who now doubled that lead up. Roca's going to commit the foul. Sub starting to get warm for Decatur. Pair of players stretching on the sideline for Tempo. Shot from Griner, bounces off the post. Player's going to be whistled for offside. Was a near chance. You can see head coach Gifton Dom talking to his team, telling them they have to switch on. Didn't even really realize the moment that was in front of us before it had happened. Quick restart. Laura Roca battling on the near sideline with Plano. Plano was able to keep it and then drop it back. Now Drivers through on goal, but Butler is there for it. Got tongue twisted for a moment. I have Bryant on my near sideline and Butler in between the sticks. Butler will look long. Plano wins the header but goes the opposite direction. Now driving out of the back, Jasmine Ferguson finds Keeney. Keeney has a mile of space in front of her. MK Nye tries to cut her off. Now Driver. Driver for Griner. Griner again. Back to Keeney. Header won by LaFloria. Chance to counter. You know, Discord Garden, my friend here, my broadcast producer, Eric Dorsey, next to me, he's pointing to the YouTube chat. I don't know that you guys are going to be nice today, so I think that I may just have to keep that, keep that out of my mindset for right now. I need to be focused on what's on the field, not in the chat. That said, I'm glad you guys are enjoying the broadcast already. I love my Tempo team, but right now they're playing behind by 2-0. We're just about halfway through this first half. Obviously, it's going to be a tough game. Decatur come in as one of the best teams in the South region, and that is by no mistake, as they have been really incredible all year long. What I know from seeing their social media is they have incredible home support, and talking about incredible support, plays it across the face of goal for Driver, and Driver makes it a trio of 0-0 now in the 21st minute of the game, and I'll step away to put that goal on the scoreboard and choose to reset myself since our YouTube chat here is trying to poke fun at me. Took myself an early water break alongside the players here as they were just waiting for that. But saying that, I think that we probably will have a water break just in a couple minutes. Now in the 23rd minute of play here in the first half, Decatur lead by a trio of goals. They have poured the action on over and over and over, and they've made their chances count as they've not particularly had a massive amount of shots, been pretty picky. But saying that, their shots on goal they've really made count. Tempo will have a throw with MK Nye, freshman at Tennessee Tech. Throwing it in, looking for Salas. Salas wins the header initially, now coming to support. I believe that's Casey Fuller. I did not realize she had checked into the game. Now, not the Rojas. I know there was a a massive amount of subs made for Decatur there at the break. That is one of them in number 18, Jerry Butts. I can assume that we actually just had pretty much a full swap besides everybody in goal. Shot coming right there from Cassidy Keeney. Keeney worked the assist on the previous goal for Dylan Driver to make it 3-0. Have to look all the way across the field. I think actually saying that, I think I saw 5 subs go in, and I have 5 subs here minus the goalkeeper. Well done by Nalugwa to keep that in. Still coming out of it, though, with the ball is Decatur charging. Tuplin steps, and going to be whistled for offside is the new striker in the game for Decatur. Let's see, I assume all the way across the field, eventually I'm going to give shout-outs to number 5, Anaya Collier, number 14, Kathleen Nguyafuk. That's a crazy name to say. I'm going to butcher that one. 15, Alexa Ibarra, number 18, Jerry Butts, and number 30, Caitlin White. Try and give them plenty of shout-outs. With the ball playing that forward is Butts. Finds Wadsworth, though Tempo win it back. Roca interlinking really well with Tuplin, but that ball is just going to be slightly too long. Throw in by Butts. See, we got one good shout out. I told Eric not to tell me anything else, but I'm glad he told me that one. Molly Gidney wins it for Tempo. Now the girls in red have a chance to break. Salas plays the Ugandan Ashiat Nalugwa through. Well defended by Ibarra. Still with it, shooting from range. And it's going to be well saved by Badoon. Really didn't trouble her too awful much. She's able to bring that one in, slow things down. She'll play it to her most central center back. Really haven't seen much pressure on this back line for Decatur, but Tempo are going to have to find a way to work themselves into this game. Savvy Spillman defending Ngoya Fak. I'm going to say Ngoya Fak. I don't know how to say that name. If there's anyone out there, the sheet that I was given here by one of our amazing helpers from Decatur FC, I didn't catch his name. Really appreciate his help. The handwriting is not great, and I really don't want to have to pronounce it the way that it looks like it's written. So for now, we'll just say number 14, Kathleen. With that said, I can give myself a moment to maybe do some research on the player and see if I can actually pronounce her name correctly, as we'll have a quick, I think, 2-minute water break. But either way, I'll step away just for a moment, get myself a water break. But fans, want to thank you for tuning into the Tennessee Tempo FC Sports Network. I want to apologize for missing out on the first few minutes of any kind of commentary and crowd mic, as had a little bit of an issue there. But hey, you can never have anything too nice without having a couple of slip-ups along the way. But we're in the 27th minute of action now, and we'll rejoin you in just a moment. And we're back now here on the Tennessee Tempo FC Sports Network. If you're late to join the action or otherwise just don't realize, this is a 3-0 game right now in favor of the visitors, Decatur FC. Decatur have come in and really asserted themselves here at Siegel High School in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, making the 2-hour drive roundabout north. I think it's kind of northeast, actually. Or, no, I don't know. I'm bad with geography, guys. I know you guys in the chat will let me hear about it one way or another, but I think it's maybe just pretty much due north. With that said, it's been all north for Decatur in this game, having traveled north, as they've poured on pressure all game long on this Tennessee Tempo back line, and the through balls and the press has really been an issue for Tempo. But right now, Tempo trying to make the issue themselves. Well done by Najiri Butts to get out of the pressure. Rojas was on her shoulder hard. Wadsworth dropping in to help, and now it's Chapman. 2 or 3 players all ready to run, and running they are, as right now through on goal is a Decatur player, shoots, gets past Butler, and just as I come back from my water break, we'll put another one in the back of the net for Decatur, as they'll now lead this game by 4-0 here in the 29th minute of the first half. Didn't catch the player's number. Like I said, I'm going to assume that's one of our subs, waiting for her to turn her back. I wish it didn't have to give her a shout out, but credit she's due. Eventually, if I can see it, I was about to say number 5. I think that's number 6. I think that's Krista Gibbons. But I'll step away and add that goal to the board, and then I'll be right back. And we've got it added now. 4 goals in, and they've all been for Decatur. Decatur are making Tempo sweat it out here on this steaming hot field. I mentioned all the credit needs to be given to Decatur previously for how well they've been playing this season, and they are showing it very much so in this game. They've had a couple good results, played a couple tough teams, took down Nashville Rhythm earlier this year, pulled out a 2-0 win over UFA Gunners, or excuse me, a 2-2 draw. Played a couple other games. I need to have the WPSL website pulled up. But at this point, I'm just about over talking about how good Decatur has been. We'll have a sub for Tennessee Tempo, as coming into the game is the Australian center back, Lotta Klein. Winning the throw-in initially was Kai Presley. Presley, I think, thought that the ball may have been off her as she dropped in to start defending. Now she'll go back up to press. It's been a flurry of goals here in this first half. It'll be a half to forget if you're Tempo, but a half to remember if you are Decatur, as they've been scoring goals for fun. Good cross from Nalugwa. Nearly had Rojas at the second post, but cannot quite connect. We'll see if there's any more subs here in this first half for Decatur. I assume they're just going to rotate their girls out, as they can honestly relax at this point. They have been all over Tennessee Tempo. Yep, and I think I spoke that one into existence. As I mentioned, the thought of subs, all 5 get ready to come back into the game. I assume that won't be the last. Beatrice Salas fighting it out with Ibarra on the far sideline. And Salas giving up a lot of height in that matchup, as I think Bia is all of about 4'9". Ibarra next to her. I don't know that she reaches her shoulder. We'll have 5 subs coming into the game. I think they're all starters. Sarah Griner, Dylan Driver, Krista Gibbons, Micah Bryant, and finally Marilia Nieves. So indeed it is all starters swapping back into the game. Out of the game we have, I think, by the way it looks like these girls have been sweating, I'm going to assume that they've been in the game most of the game already. One of them coming off, I can tell you, is definitely Emma Chapman. Chapman has been a real difference maker in this game, having, I think, well, without a doubt, gets credit for one of the assists, but if I'm not mistaken, may actually have 2 assists in this game. Tupland looks for a big switch of play. Roca brings it down. Roca unable to keep the ball in play, but a good switch from Tupland to try and open things up. On the ball is the fresh set of legs in Griner. Griner drops it for another fresh set of legs in Nieves, but unable to keep possession for the away side. Laura Roca going to be told to take her steps back. Fans, as I'm sure all of you all will be excited for the start of the World Cup. Earlier today, I got to watch Mexico and South Africa play a thrilling game, or at least that's what I'm going to call it for the sake of being nice, to open up the World Cup festivities. And Butler picks that ball up outside of her goal. We're going to see what the call is right here. I don't know actually what the call is. I guess that is simply a goal. Just set the ball down and play it as that's a direct free kick. Make it 5. I guess it's better than a red card being given to Butler for handling the ball outside the goal, but I didn't even have a chance to realize where or who had played the ball. And now this game is sat at 5-0. And again, I'll have to go update the scoreboard. Now in the 34th minute of action, the score sits at 5-0. Tennessee Tempo and myself both, I think, hoping to get to halftime, lick their wounds, and try and start a game plan to get themselves back in this one way or the other. At this point in a 5-0 game, you want to try and be positive, but also you need to be realistic. I don't think that this is going to be a game where you try and come back to win, but this is something you need to prove to yourself and prove to the rest of the league that this game is a one-off. That said, it's not going to be an easy thing to do, but this will be a good start as Ashat Nalugwa charging down the near sideline, going shoulder to shoulder with Krista Gibbons, cuts it back. Big switch looking for Rojas. She has the Costa Rican. Dummies the shot. She'll lay it off now for Salas. Salas to Gidney. Gidney takes her space and shoots from range. Not a bad effort from the Scottish midfielder, trying to make some magic happen. And that one right there, I don't think I would have been too mad about going in the back of the net. Was a strong effort there. Tempo got their players forward. It's happened a couple times now after Decatur have been able to get themselves involved in the goal scoring into the field. When we've restarted play, Tempo have came back and fired off a shot relatively quickly, but in a game like this, it's going to take a lot to try and turn the tide. It's just now going into the 36th minute, it has truly been all Decatur. I don't think they're going to try and stop scoring goals either. Savvy Spillman takes care of the through ball. Looks forward for Nalugwa, who flicks it on for Gidney. Can Gidney keep it in? She cannot. Now with possession is Bryant. Bryant defended by Salas. Getting a heel to it and flicking it on was Roca. Roca's pressed hard. Excuse me, that's Klein. Klein pressed hard there by Ngulyafak. And she'll win a throw-in for Decatur. Throw in from Griner, playing on the near side compared to the far last time. Ngulyafak dispossessed by Klein, plays it ahead. Initially gets it out of danger, but now it's with Caitlin White. White drops it into the middle. Pressed by Salas and Gidney both. She'll drop it all the way back to her defense, who tries to thread the ball forward again. Nalugwa, Tuplin, Roca, Nalugwa. They cannot complete the triangle as they give possession back to the away side. And now one of Tempo's players, who's now just a sub, or excuse me, is not even a sub in this game, Victoria Loyola, is being told she's not allowed on the track. I think she's ball girling in this game. So they're trying to, I guess, tell her that she cannot be out there on the track. I'm truly not certain what the issue would be, but I'm not an official. She's going to hop and sit on the fence for the moment. Telling her she's got to go. It's curious. I don't know that I've really seen that happen. Now she's on the outside of the fence. Maybe Victoria was telling the ref she was unhappy with her decisions, and that's why she has to make her way off the field. never really seen that happen before when you've had a ball boy or ball girl out there, but nonetheless, she'll hop her way all the way over the fence. Now charging with it is Najiri Butts. Cuts it in, flicked forward, still with it, in danger. Make it 6 in the 38th minute for Decatur FC. Back again, Tennessee Tempo trailing by 6 goals to the visitors in Decatur FC. And it's a solemn bit of play right now, as Tempo had been playing quite miraculously last week, but Decatur are kind of putting them on their backsides right now after having built a bit of momentum last week. This is one of those games that can be a bit of a soul crusher, but you have to find a way to get yourself back in the right headspace and in the season on a good note. It's a hard stretch of games, playing 3 games last week, and then you followed it up with one of the top teams in the South, as I think Decatur maybe like the number 3 team in the South rankings, somewhere right around in there. I really need to double check that. But they've been playing incredible all season long. I know that they're really high up there. Oh, checking it actually is UFA Gunners, who we played last week, that are at number 3. Decatur, though, ranked at number 7 in the South standings. So they are a team that people know are impressive, and in this game they are doing just that. They are impressing. Butts is going to dribble the ball out of play on the far sideline. Rojas has it. Instead, we'll wait for subs. Coming into the game is Casey Fuller, joined alongside by Lara Doria. Now we'll have a pair of Lauras on the field, in Laura Roca and Lara Doria. And stepping off for Fuller is Molly Gidney. Gidney making her debut for Tennessee Tempo FC in today's game. I see her with a bit of a wry smile down on the sideline. Sometimes it's just one of those days. I think it's been the opposite of one of those days for Decatur FC, as they've done just about everything as well as you could have asked. Finishing has been perfect, and every time they put themselves through, it's gone the right way. Kai Presley takes a big shoulder there from Krista Gibbons. No foul given, though it'll give Decatur a chance to put numbers forward, as they've done all day. This one, though, not going to quite have enough bend on it to pull it back into play. And Jordan Butler will track that one down. 41st minute. Tempo will reset with the ball. Butler has tracked it down. It's like the other player making their way off the field was the Costa Rican, not the Rojas. Spillman, the line drive effort to Roca. Roca brings it down. Sends it ahead for Nalugwa. Naluga's pass tipped. Winning it again is Presley. Presley's pass deflected off the foot of Gibbons. Lays it off for Salas. Doria tries to chase it down. Can't quite find it. Anaya Collier drops it back for Butts, who plays a long ball forward. It should roll all the way out of play, or instead Butler can keep it in, as she does. Butler will dribble it in and pick it up. Directing traffic is a freshman from Motlow State CC. Sends it long, and it's won initially by Decatur. Still with it in Gulyafak. Now it'll be Butts' turn for the throw-in. Looks long, takes a deflection. Klein pressing hard. Doria back to fill in her spot. Starting it forward is Nieves. Though the player driver, I believe it is, will be whistled for offside. I think one thing you can say about this Decatur team is they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. I don't think that they're going to hold that press up or try to not score any goals or not continue to pour the pressure on. Collier trying to make magic happen, but Doria wins that battle. The Brazilian will have the throw in. As Salas throw into her compatriot. Hard press on her shoulder. Salas turns, gets out of one tackle, cannot find her way out of the second. And again, Decatur should have the chance to counter. Driver dropping in deep from her striker position. Griner trying like heck to hold her run on side. I think Tempo are happy just to keep that line as high as possible and force them to try and play through. Not that that's worked as well for them this game, has to be said. Tuplan Roca and Nieves will play that one out. Nope, that's Bryant. I saw the two. 44th minute of action. I can't assume that we're going to have too much added time. Roca line drive throw in. Kept in by Nalugwa, who goes back to her teammate at Lindsey Wilson. Casey Fuller sandwiched on both sides by Nieves and White. Ibarra searching for space ahead. Instead, she'll drop it for Butts, who tries to connect with Collier but cannot quite find it. Laura Doria looks back to MK Nye. Nye connecting with Tuplan. Tuplan dispossessed, and again we go on the counter. The goal fest may not be over just yet. Through on goal is Griner in the middle. They'll find Griner. Griner will shoot, and Griner will score to make it 7. With that whistle, we are into added time here in this first half. As I mentioned before, I can't assume that we'll have much, but if I know the way that this Decatur team's been attacking, they're going to try and get at least one more in. Score sat at 7-0. Football score for a football field. MK Nye with Laura Doria. Doria finds Salas. Fuller tries to play a one-touch pass through over to Tuplan, but not quite enough on it. Now that one will be a throw-in for Tempo, again with Roca. Said her name a lot here on this near sideline. Presley drops in deep. White wins the tackle, but it will be a throw-in again for Roca. Ahead to Presley. Presley with a big switch. Has Doria. Doria one-on-one with Butts. Still with it. Laura can shoot. It's deflected. Coming up for it is Roca. Roca and Nalugwa both looked like they wanted to go for it. Cross from Roca. Handled by Badoon. Badoon, I've not had to say her name much in the first half. If things continue this way, I doubt that I'll be saying her name at all in the second half. So we'll probably see the efforts of Addison Daughtry. Chest touch from Nieves. Bryant looks ahead. Can't keep that ball in play. Butler there for it, only just. Looks for Klein as a short option. Klein's pass turned over in the middle. Driver connects, and a tackle and a penalty. It'll be a chance to make it 8. Ball was turned over in the middle of the field. Klein tried to recover on the near side of the 18, but not quite in time. And now Ngoyefak wins the penalty, and it looks like she's going to take the penalty as well. Nearly into our 4th minute of added time. I couldn't have imagined that we would have been playing this far into added time with an already 7-0 goal. I pull it back. That was not a penalty. She pointed to the spot, and now after some discussion, they pull it back for a free kick. As I was looking down at the scoreboard on the live stream, instead it's going to be a free kick here for Anaya Collier, who shoots into the wall, and nearly a goal anyways, as it took a hard deflection towards the bottom left corner of the goal, and it will be yet another set piece. And Griner, I think, is not to be mistaken right there. She hustles to get that ball, not want the referee to blow her whistle before they get another chance. Play the in-swinging ball in to the second post. Doria gets ahead to it. Nieves is there, and we're going to make this one extra short and sweet. Tempo trail by a football score to none. We'll be back in 15 minutes for the second half of action. And welcome back for the second half of action. Decatur FC lead Tempo by a score of 7-0, though trying to start things off with a bang. Nalugwa cuts past a number of Decatur defenders. She'll have to drop all the way back to Tempo captain Ella Tuplin. Now throwing it forward for Ayan Ahmed. Chance to put one on the board. Snuffed out quickly. Ahmed still in the area. Finally cleared out, but Nalugwa's there to shoot. Shoot she does. Save. New keeper in the game. Addison Daughtry getting more work in the first 48 seconds than what Nicole Badoon had virtually the entire first half. I jokingly said at halftime it was a football score to none at the half. You got to give credit to Decatur for what they've done here against the home team on this scorching hot turf here at Siegel High School. They've managed to put themselves ahead by an unfortunate amount of goals if you're a Tennessee Tempo fan, and it feels like everything that they've shot has went in the back of the net so far in this game. On the flip side, Tennessee Tempo FC have managed a couple of good attacks, but no other way you can really cut it other than saying that they've really struggled to work their high defensive line, and whenever they found themselves in the attacking third of the field, have been unable to punish a really strong team in Decatur FC. Now being whistled for the foul is Najiri Butts right on the edge of the box. It's dangerously close to being a penalty, but just outside of the danger zone, says our center ref. I thought that one actually was in the box myself, but I also thought that the previous foul from Klein was inside the box, and it was just given as a free kick, not a PK, so perhaps we're going an eye for an eye here. Nalugwa looks to be the one to take it. The Ugandan has options all across the face of goal. They come running. She shoots. Oh, really good effort from Nalugwa, just high of the bar. Gifton Dom and his staff all cheer on, try to keep heads high. I mentioned it before, in a game like this, you're not really playing to try and win. You're trying to play for your own pride. Go out there and show that you're meant to be here. You got to face some of the facts, and that's that this is an incredible team in Decatur who have a really high number of high-level Division I starters, whereas Tempo, I love the girls we have on this team, but we can't say that we point to the same quality. I love our players all from top to bottom, but trying to give due respect to the ability of Decatur. In this game, they've showed their level to the Murfreesboro side. Play continues now with the throw-in on the far sideline. Fans, as you watch it here in the final 45 minutes of this game, Decatur wearing all blue, attacking left to right. Now attacking all in red from right to left is Tennessee Tempo FC. Tuplin trying to track it down. Now Nye, big collision on the ball. Not much body between the two. Charging forward is Caitlin White. Going to be whistled offside. Beatrice Salas pushes White backwards. Now Savvy Spillman, the player slowly backing up in front of her. 7-0 game. You can probably afford to back up a little bit. That said, Savvy Spillman here. Initially looked long. Instead, she'll drop it short to Laura Roca, who indeed herself will go long. Nalugwa trying to track it down. Far sideline is Bryant. Presley shields it out all the way for a throw-in for Tempo. Tempo starting this second half, how I think they just about started the game. But in between the sticks now, Ella Gilliam. In defense, Roca, Spillman, and Nye from front to back. Ayan Ahmed shoots, saved, and initially popped up, but finally handled by Daughtry. Daughtry has had a lot more work in this second half already than Badoon had the entire first. MK Nye plays it long, keeps it in, but Daughtry will have it at her feet and eventually will pick it up. I think mostly what we'll see in this second half is a lot of 5-for-5 platoon swaps, as that was a drop kick actually from Daughtry. I don't know that I've seen many goalkeepers do a drop kick, let it bounce, then played it off the floor. Chapman tries to find, that was Griner forward. Chapman was doing everything in the middle in the first half, was responsible for at least 2 of the goals. Now Savvy Spielman. Spielman goes long. Header flicked on. Daughtry charging it down, trying to keep it in. Instead, she's going to play it out for a throw-in. It's a lot better than a corner. In this case, now Rojas plays it quickly. And Rojas could find Nalugwa, but Nalugwa could not find a way to keep it in. She had pressure on her back from Butts. And Butts wins the throw-in. Dropping in for support is Anaya Collier, excuse me. Shot from Nalugwa. Played forward by Salas. Now Rojas looking to cross. Sends left-footed ball in. Well handled by Daughtry. You have to give credit to Tennessee Tempo as they're showing a lot of ability here in this second half that they probably could have used in the first half. I don't know if that's just Decatur switching off a little bit or not. But we'll see how the rest of this half plays out. Near the ball there was Allie Plano, and she takes it off Clark. Clark with a big tackle. Clark going to be whistled for the foul. I think Clark actually got most of the ball there, but saying that, it's kind of a dangerous tackle from behind, you might would say. Restart quickly. Now White back to Bryant. Right back to White's feet. Tackle from Ahmed. Presley dropping in to help defend. Chapman combining, trying to push it forward. Collier was offside. I think both players were offside. The player through the middle, trying to see what number she is. The initial run pulled off. Collier thought that she may have been onside, so she pushed forward. Lucci was ultimately whistled right back. Ball ahead, won by Decatur. Now Tuplan getting ahead to it. Solid side by side with Wadsworth, who wins it. Griner plays it forward. Now with the chance through is Plano. Plano finds her teammate in the middle, shoots, ricochets off the crossbar. Plano again, shoots again, and it's deflected, and Clark attempts to play it out for a throw-in, but finds the foot of her teammate Salas. Salas dispossessed. Well, initially dispossessed, but actually was able to push that pass forward, but it's snuffed out by Micah Bryant on the far sideline. It should be a throw-in. I thought it was a throw-in for Tempo. It should be a throw-in for Decatur. Indeed it is. Header won by Roca. Keeney in the middle. Keeney dispossessed. Ahmed lays it off for Nalugwa. Nalugwa cuts it back, vying for any kind of an option. The Ugandan still carrying. Now has Rojas one-on-one with Butts. Cuts inside onto her right foot. Lays it off now for Presley. Presley left foot shot. Deflected. If that doesn't take a deflection, that probably troubles the keeper a little bit more. But Daughtry, cool as a cucumber, watches that one fall softly into her paws. There again, she'll do the drop kick. I truly have not seen that. I don't know if I've ever seen it at this level. Interesting way of doing it. Salas tries to find Ahmed on a run through. Can't quite connect. Ashiat Nalugwa pressing. Now it's Keeney. Tackle won by Salas. And Keeney just rips Kai Presley to the floor. That'll be the first yellow card of the game, I believe. Perhaps just some frustration from Cassidy Keeney as the midfielder there. Had initially been beaten by Presley, but comes out all in the end with a free kick for Tennessee Tempo right on the 20-yard line of this American football field. Laura Roca will have it. The junior at Lindsey Wilson University in the NAI steps to shoot. Fires it on frame, but Daughtry Again with safe hands. I'm really so interested to see this drop kick method. That's just something I've never seen before. It's, again, never that I've seen at this level. It's got me a little awestruck, actually. I think if I tried that, I would probably trip myself up, get some turf toe for about a month, kick the floor. I'd love to see me try and do that. Show the admin some love. Nalugwa now through to Presley, who has Ahmed. Bryant shields Ahmed off, though there will never be any real pressure as Daughtry scoops that one out of danger. Slicing through the defense, looking for Chapman. Eventually does find the foot of Chapman. Savvy Spillman in a foot race. She's beaten by the attacker. Gilliam tries to cut the angle off, but that one will find its way in the back of the net as Spillman could not quite keep up in the foot race, and now make it 8-0. Player has long hair there. I really cannot see who it is that scored that. Number 3, I think that's Maggie Wadsworth that scored that. I'm sure you guys will be happy to let me know in the chat. I'll step over to add that into the scoreboard here at beautiful Siegel High School, and I'll be back in just a second. Now in the 58th minute of the game, Tempo will have a throw in. Looking for Nalugwa. It'll go off the foot of Butts. Rojas with Keeney in front of her. Again, she'll look for Nalugwa, but Butts is better that time. Collier ahead. Flicked on, looking for Wadsworth. Instead through is Griner, but it took a hard bit of backspin, and she gets a chuckle out of that. A bit easier to chuckle when you're winning by the scoreline that they are. And Kai Presley going to be whistled for the foul, and she'll shoot anyway. She might be lucky not to get herself a yellow card. Commits the foul and then takes the shot, I think out of frustration. She'll trot her way back. There's a yellow card, I think, actually given to a Decatur player. Must be for dissent. So hard for us to predict from up here. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I'll be curious to know, actually. Now is whenever I need a radio down on the field to ask our 4th official. I can't see a world where that wasn't a yellow card given to Presley. But they pointed at a player for Decatur, so be curious to see who that goes down for. That said, all's well and ends well. Free kick now for Decatur. Sun slowly setting here in Tennessee. They'll look long, and long it will go. Roca gets ahead to it. Now off the shoulder of Tuplin. Ahmed gets past White. Nearly has the threaded ball through for Nalugwa. Play continues. Advantage being played. Collier herself is through on goal. Well done by Ella Gilliam. Dangerous ball to play in the middle, but she connects swiftly with Beatrice Salas. Now Ahmed coming back to help support, and support was much needed. Rojas going to be unable to keep that ball in play, but not a bad effort from Tempo. Scoreline sat at 8-0. A thumping that these girls won't soon forget. Need to find a way to pick something up out of this game. Butts goes long. Header won by Rojas. Right back to Butts again. Connecting with Collier. Flicked on. Salas and Wadsworth. And Tempo not happy with the throw-in being given to Decatur. Was either off the foot of Rojas or Wadsworth. Is deemed to deflect off the Tempo player. Spillman wins the throw-in, puts it ahead for Rojas. Rojas hits the deck. Ahmed dispossessed, butts ahead again. Now has Wadsworth. Flicks it through for Griner. Griner appears to be on side. Stood up by the opposite 16 and Ella Tuplin. Well done by the English midfielder to cut off another surefire attack and then to win this one. She'll pump it ahead, but the header won yet again off the foot of White. Now with Presley. Presley 2-on-2 attack. Slows it down. White back to help defend. Tries to slot it through. Now again we'll go with Butts and Rojas. And Butts will shield that one all the way out. '62nd minute of this game. It was a touchdown and an extra point to 0 in the first half. Decatur been able to tack one more on. Play restarts. Now Keeney. Keeney looking outside. I believe that's Plano on the far sideline. We'll have all 5 subs start to get ready again for Decatur. And it looks like, yep, on the opposite side, as I say that, all 5 subs for Tempo getting ready as well. See if we have an exodus of players making their way off the field. Clark connecting with Salez. Roca on an island. Tuplin played into some pressure. Retreating back again to the Brazilian. Roca's dispossessed. Wadsworth wants to be played through. Griner is on side. Finds Wadsworth, and Wadsworth finds the back of the net. Now make it 9-0 in the 63rd minute.